Hello everyone, I'm Jan Runge from the International Cinema Technology Association and we're here with Thomas van der Weert. Hi Thomas.
Yes, hi.
He's the CEO and the co-founder of the Anything Cinema. Thomas,
Welcome.
show us a little bit around.
Yeah, this is our first pilot location of the Anything, where we actually turn around the restaurant into a restaurant and a cinema.
Okay.
And this is the area where we walk to the cinema with the signage where you can see the first visitors on the wall.
Okay.
And these are the three
screening rooms.
3 screening rooms, 7-seater, a 2-seater and a 5-seater. So, welcome to the 5-seater room. We call this one the studio. So this is the room with a 5-person capacity. Have a seat. It's so these are recliners, so you can adjust the seats any way you like.
Oh wow, okay.
And then use, of course, the app we have to order a drink and to pause the movie, adjust the light, whatever.
So you do all the food and beverage over the app as well?
Yeah, via the app. So our app is connected to the ordering system of the partner where we work with.
Yeah.
And you can actually see the menu in the app and order drink or food.
Cool. Which one is most booked?
Currently the 2-person.
The 2-person, okay.
Which I'll show you next.
Okay.
And this is the 2-person room.
Okay.
We call it the Otto. And this one is quite extreme, because I believe this is the smallest DCI-compliant cinema in the world.
Yeah, it is pretty small.
I don't think there's a cinema projector serving a 2-seater room. We want every interior to be different, and we are using design seating, which has never been done before in a traditional cinema.
Mm. Thanks.
And then we go to our biggest capacity room.
Okay.
7 seats. And actually the screen is larger here.
That's 7. Okay.
And this room has a 4-meter screen, and the other's 3.5. So we also experiment with different screen sizes.
So we're here in one of the screening rooms of the Anything Cinema. Thomas, can you tell us a little bit about this room?
This is a 7-seater room. We call it the Modernist. So we intend to name every room we add to the network. And this is for 7 persons, quite a modern design. It has a Dutch design seat. Not really intended for cinemas, but we thought it was great to have it here, and people are really enthusiastic about it. And it's the largest room we have with 7 seats.
And before we actually dive into the concept, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and where we are here in terms of the city and the location?
So this is our first pilot location where we control everything. We thought it would be best to do it ourselves in every detail for the first time, and so that's what we're doing here in a really small city in the Netherlands. Very exciting for the people that live here in this city, because this is quite an ambitious project in such a small town. And my background is in cinema, so I used to work for a big cinema chain in the Netherlands, Pathé. A lot of people know that brand. And I have a lot of experience in movie streaming. I launched a Dutch streaming service. And in this project, both DNAs are coming together.
So the idea is actually to take that kind of personal on-demand experience that you already have at home into a location, into a cinema. And it starts with the app, but I guess the app is a very important part of the experience.
Yeah, we took the best of both worlds, literally. So, what we thought was great of the movie experience in a cinema, and what we think is great of a on-demand experience. And that's what we combined. So we try to make everything we could personal and on-demand in the service. You decide what movie and what time, but you can also control the audio, the temperature of the room. You decide who you go to the movie with. But the movie starts at the time you have decided to start it, just like in a cinema, the magic moment of that the movie starts. But for example, the show before the movie, we also made it personal. So the trailers you see before you watch the movie are basically run by a recommendation engine that knows your profile.
Oh, wow, okay.
So the trailers you see before your movie are really tailored to your specific interests.
And the design agency, I guess, had a big role to play as well, because the design is quite unique.
Yeah, yes. When we decided to do the project and to actually invest in the physical environment, I called Mxdwn, who is a very well-known creative director of a design agency in the Netherlands, Staat, in Amsterdam, and they have a lot of experience with fashion, retail, branding, and all those aspects are coming together in this concept, and they really helped us to create
Something
this,
like this, yeah.
and make something that's not traditional, and that's really what we intended, to add something to the movie-going experience that's not there yet. So we really see ourselves as complementary to the already existing ways of watching movies. So 4DX is great, Dolby Cinema is great, IMAX, and this is just another way of watching movies.
The app really is a big part of it. So do you want to take us through the customer journey really quickly?
The way we intend this is that we want a network of cinemas and want to work with location partners. So we don't have the intention to build our own cinemas like a regular cinema player would do, but we really want to work with existing locations and build a network with a lot of variation in it. And the only way to really connect all that is with technology and with a unified customer experience. So we started with developing an app where people can browse locations, where people can browse movies that are available, and we are really sticking that together. So you pick a movie, you pick a location, you pick a date and a time, and you pay for your visit, and then the technology makes sure that at that time the movie starts playing on that location.
We're here in a really nice boutique hotel in a smaller city in the Netherlands. Where do you see this, positioned elsewhere? Which hotels, bars, cinemas?
I would say all of the above. On every location where people want to have access to entertainment, we could fit in our concept.
The film offer includes first-run films, so it's a cinema experience.
That's quite unique as well. So we have a combination of library content, as we would call it in the streaming business, and current content, first-run content. So we do play Disney's Black Widow currently, but we also show Green Book, which is, I think, 2-3 years old. And we now have a total offer of more than 400 movies in this moment, and it's growing every week. And the current experience is that about 60% of the visitors watch a current movie, and 40% watches a library movie.
Okay, and the technology behind it, so it's operated like a cinema, or is it operated differently?
The technology behind it is exactly as a cinema is operated.
Yeah.
So we use DCI compliant technology. We play DCPs. We have a KDM key for every show we run.
And for each screening room?
For each screening room.
Amazing, okay.
What we do is quite new for the cinema industry, but we use all the technology that people are familiar with and that people trust.
How do you value something like this? What's the market value for kind of private, personal, on-demand cinemas in the Netherlands, or maybe even in one location? Did you do the math before you developed this?
Yeah, of course we did some math before we developed this. A lot of people we spoke and visited this place would call us crazy that we are using a DCP projector for a screening room with 2 seats that would usually be used in a room with 400 seats. But we really believe there's going to be technology available with smaller projectors, better equipped for smaller screening rooms. And then in the end, those calculations will work well. And we're in this for the long run. We have 3 screening rooms now, and our ambition is to grow to 500, which you need if you really want to make this work. This is not going to work with 3 screening rooms, but it starts with 3 screening rooms. So that's where we start.
You talked a little bit earlier about the partnerships that you envision. Can you talk a little bit about more how you want to, if there are different ways in, entering an environment like a bar or a hotel?
The intention is that the partners we work with invest in their own screening room, where we will, of course, participate and guide and coordinate and make sure that everything is on the right level, especially in terms of technology. There's a lot of requirements there. But we really want to make every screening room we add to the network personal and have its own identity. So it's really important to us that the partner puts in their own DNA into the project. But they will invest in the room. That's the business model. And we will help operate the room. And we will help bring the audience and facilitating the content and work with all the content owners.
Okay. We've already come to the last question that I have. I mean, we're now the pandemic is slowing down. Hopefully we'll get out of this very soon. What are your plans for the next 1 or 2 years with this?
Our strategy is quite simple. The first time we wanted to do it ourselves, so that's what we did here. We own this location, we operate every detail in this building, and really to learn about the project. And then after this phase, where we have the first experiences, like I just told you, we had 150 shows in 5 weeks. All different age groups. It's really interesting to see, and we get a lot of data out of that. And now we have way more answers than we had a couple of months ago, and it feels right to take the next step. And we want to open our next location before the end of the year. That's what our ambition is. Work with 1 or maybe 2 third parties to open a screening room, and then we think the growth is going to be increase every year. So it was really hard to do the first 3. It took us 6 years. I think the room 4, 5, and 6 will take us a couple of months, and then we'll figure out a way to grow faster every year to grow to the 500 rooms we intend.
Okay. Thanks so much. Amazing. The Anything Cinema, a new cinema experience from the Netherlands, and thanks for having us.
Thank you.